even know where it is either. Alright, was that all you got there?
Yeah.
If you do have one, let me know, because we've got others that need to be trained.
Oh, right, yeah. I'm in the process of figuring out when I can do it. I gotta get done with 2024 and then I'll start working on 2025.
Okay. Number 2, buildings and grounds, trails and updates and reports.
Not much, everything that was purchased for the swinging bridge and nature trail is there. It's just, in the summer we'll get it done.
Fairgrounds.
So our pump house, I was able to get, Brant's Plumbing out to get a look at the water lines. He was hoping to have a bid back by this morning for it, but he didn't, so, we'll just have to push that into the. So,
Bathrooms.
our north bathrooms. I have a spreadsheet for you. So, we originally opened our bids on the set date of January 28th. Everything you can see in our first column here of the original bid, we had 5 original bidders. Everything came in far over budget. We have currently 207,000 and we were far over. So I talked to the Wisconsin Department of Administration, got some guidelines on where to go from here. And with the chair and our administrator's permission, I sent those bids back out to those original 5 bidders. What we did was a de-scoped bid and a resubmission. We took the constraints off of that overly specific approved plan that we had. For instance, the windows that were called out were a $6,000 aluminum clad window. Pulled those restrictions away, asked for the bidders to put in still a quality product, but allowed them to do the searching to find a better price. So we reopened those bids. We had 4 resubmit that de-scoped bid yesterday at 4 p.m. So February 4th at 4 p.m. So this de-scoped column is the second batch that we received. So Beanick Construction was able to cut 55,000 off, 914 off. Atari 127,335. Leckleitner was 37,667.46 cents, and SD Ellenbecker cut $71,600 off of their bid. So it got us much closer to our proof price. SD Ellenbecker came back at the lowest bid. They're out of Athens, Wisconsin. So I have the bids if you wish to look through them. Ellenbecker, with that lowest bid, submitted a very detailed, well put together bid. If we were, excuse me, if we were to go with them, they would put us at 83,500 over budget. And we were thinking of if that, just for instance, if that 290,000 was submitted, to submit that to finance at 300,000 to allow a cushion on top for unforeseen occurrences. But these are our bids. If you wish to look through them or any questions for me, feel free.
Is there any kind of safety issue in these bathrooms?
With the current bathrooms?
Yeah.
There will be shortly.
There was.
The wall
There
between.
There
Yeah.
was, yeah.
We had a shower curtain come down this year. The wall between the two was, there's nothing left. There's the studs, there's nothing left to even mount a paper towel holder on. You could physically shake the wall.
You could walk through the wall.
Yeah, just about. It's tiny.
In the current bathrooms, there's a men's and a women's, and then there's a couple showers in each with just a curtain. So we did have some security issues with late at night showers. So what we are proposing with these bids are for 8 complete units. So the toilet, the shower, everything is all in one unit. So there'll be falls down, or if somebody comes in and, you know,
Yeah.
tries to cause problems, so it'll be much better, much safer.
Where's all this extra money gonna come from?
That would be the current.
That's
flow.
finances, problem.
It's finances problem, we're not here to talk.
Well, I think a recommendation would be.
So yeah, we're looking for a recommendation, from the board, taking into account those bids to, move to finance, to proceed on and try and get this funding taken care of.
I'll make a motion to send it on to finance, with the lowest bid of $290,500.
Motion by Mr. Hanson to send in the finance, is there a second? I'll second. You there? Gary? Second by Mr. Miller, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
You know, that though, I know originally we were only looking at 6, you downsizing it 2.
So if we were to downsize, the only issue we run into with that is we're gonna have to go back through the process of getting new plans put together at, I asked for a quote roughly $3,000 to get more plans drawn.
So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries to kick on the finance.
This is still cheaper than Andy's precast,
Well, okay, so-
bid of 300,000 many years
Here's
ago.
another thing, tariff tax, you all know what that is, right? We got a 30-day hold, so if we go beyond that 30-day and we get that implemented, things are gonna go skyrocketing. That bid might double.
It already has doubled, you know,
It
increased
doubled,
from 2 years ago.
But I'm saying it's gonna be probably more once that tariff tax gets implemented.
Oh, sure, yeah.
This bid is gonna be quite low considering where it could end up if we can pass that 30 days and into that. Alright, moving on, airport, sale of the 99-250 pickup.
The pickup is here, we're waiting on, I think it was an auction company to come pick it up.
Well, we need approval to get rid of it.
Yes.
That's what we're here for. So, we talked about it, but we never heard back from the state because it was spent with, you know, the federal funds. And so we got that all cleared, we don't owe them any money if we sell it, so, we just need approval to.
We'll entertain a motion to, send it to the auction yard. Motion by Mr. Ludwig, second by Mr. Miller. Oh, Dan, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting you back there, Dan.
I wish.
Second by Mr. Goods, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign, motion carries to send to the auction yard.
So Jamie, where does that money go then, when?
Should go back into the air.
It goes to the fleet or airport or?
Airport.
Airport, okay.
Insurance, county cars, and central service, review the insurance claims and the county cars usage.
So I gave you guys paper copies of the reports, this time, because I still didn't have all the reports I needed from the insurance. They didn't send me an updated property report, so the dollar amount that's there does not include the 2 deer squad hits that were on December 25th and 26th. But those are approximately $14,000, for the repairs to those, about 14,000 between the 2 of them. So the county car, we, you know, came out in the black for 2024, which is good there, and we're continuing to charge the IRS rate for those vehicles, so I think things are set up well with that. We had a couple of workman's comp claims so far this year, but otherwise, those are the only claims we have so far in 25.
Most of these workmen comp, they're done, right? They're back to work and not on workman's comp anymore.
Yes, we have
But
one.
we have one,
active.
we have one
One active.
active, fairly high dollar claim right now.
Not a recent one from last year? Oh, the ones from last year are cleared up, right?
Oh, no, I think,
Like all these?
no, there might be one left from last year, and then one current this year.
Your addendum, these were
questions for the, insurance county cars stuff? That's all you had, right, Jamie?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we bounce over to the addendum for the airport? Airport conference, out-of-county travel, and airport lights.
Yeah, I have, there's an airport conference coming up for, managers and owners, April 7th through the 9th in Stevens Point. Would help get me some information to get my feet under me and running as far as managing the airport. I handed Mr. Chair the, travel form,
$316.
$316.
Motion by Mr. Miller to approve, second by Mr. Ludwig, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Out-of-county travel is approved. Airport lights.
So we were out of our stock on runway lights. Unfortunately, those are not cheap. We ordered 20 of them to keep on stock, amber and clear. Those have to be ordered by a certified electrician because they are high voltage. So this order went through Red Cedar Electric, for those 20 lights at $8,918.56.
$8,819.
$8,918.56.
That ain't include putting them in yet, is it?
Yeah, they know how to charge on that stuff. So that came out of our airport maintenance fund, which was at 25,000, so that dropped us down to 16 and some change, so.
The lights typically is the largest expense at the airport.
Yes.
You got it in your budget, though.
Yes.
Yeah, and actually each bulb was under 1,500, so I don't think we needed to come with that, it was in our budget, but when you asked me about it, I didn't know that, so,
Oh.
oops, sorry.
So now you know.
And then you gotta approve the purchase for the $8,000.
Might as well since you're this far into it.
Motion by Mr. Geller to approve the $8,918.56, there a second? Second. Second by Mr. Ludwig, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
You don't have an estimate how much it's gonna be put in?
I don't, he'll install, as they burn out.
First filler.
Mr. Ludwig. You're good. All right, move down to IT. IT department updates and report.
How are you doing today, sir?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. As of right now, the IT department is, running well, as well as can be expected with all the circumstances. We're getting our feet back under us and moving forward with everything. We've got a proposal in front of you for the E.O. Johnson contract update.
We were jumping, well, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Cut you. We'll go to the purchase request form.
The purchase request form first, I'm sorry. The IT department would like to be able to purchase items for other departments that fall under the IT purview and then charge it back to them. I understand that there were some issues with this previously, but I would like to have the ability put back in. We've proposed a rewrite to the finance budget document to allow us to do that. It would make life much easier, that way we can standardize everything and I can make sure that everything was purchased properly for the equipment that's needed and then charge it back to the individual departments.
Extra copy over there. No.
So, weren't we doing this in the past, that IT was doing it all, and then IT would never send it back to the budget?
Yep, and
Or
that's,
the department do it?
yeah, that's what Walt is talking about, so that was the purpose of creating this form. Walt put this form together. So what was happening in the past is that IT was purchasing things and either charging it to their own budget because that was like easier presumably, or the invoice would just get lost for months and months and months, and then at finance, we would have to say, these invoices are missing, where are they? So then certain departments were off on their budgets because they hadn't received the invoices. But the purpose of this, and then creating kind of the policy and procedure, is that Walt will be overseeing that purchasing, so that shouldn't happen again.
So short farms, we should be able to keep a better hand on this, and not like, 6 months down the road and say, oh, shoot, we forgot, here's another bill.
Yep, because all of the information should already be on the purchase request form, so if you'll see like account charge too, so the budget line should be in there. And then the department head and Walt would need to sign off on it before it's actually purchased. And then the invoice will just be sent back with the IT purchase form, so whoever's in charge of entering invoices, all of the information is already there.
So the departments have to fill this out.
Yep, and send
and
it to
then
Walt.
Send it to Walt, and Walt has to sign off on it.
Yep,
So we at least have a paper trail of which department and or the department's gonna be charged back accordingly, correct?
correct.
I'll make a motion.
Can I-
Purchase request.
So, sorry, for the big ticket items, that totally makes sense, but for the smaller stuff, like keyboards, mice, cables, thumb drives, those are office supplies, there's no reason the departments can't be, everybody has access to an Amazon account. I just think that if that starts being supplied out of the IT budget, then those departments are gonna think, oh, now I have more money in my office supply budget to buy other things. I think that's gonna encourage overspending, and those departments would still have to communicate with IT to be able to order a keyboard where they could just log in themselves and buy a keyboard or a mouse or a flash drive or whatever they need relatively quickly.
My answer to that, I've worked other municipalities everywhere else that I've worked, keyboards, mice, flash drives, everything like that, have always been considered consumable items because they do break down over time. Generally, IT departments are given a budget of about $1,000 for those consumable items per year, and that well covers it.
Yeah, and I'm just saying that the departments themselves already have those items budgeted within their budgets as well, so then we're doubling up on that, and I think that's just gonna encourage overspending. And some of these items are reimbursable if the departments purchase them, they're reimbursable through their grants or other funding sources.
So to my understanding, the purchase request form was gonna be mostly used for bigger items, like we need a new computer, we need new monitors. It'll go through Walt, that way Walt orders the right stuff and it's not a department who orders something that's not compatible with their system. Whereas those smaller, the consumables could be run through that option of the $1,000 in that budget line that we would set for IT consumables, or they would have the option to order it out of their accounts. That request form more so takes the question out of ordering the right products on the larger ones.
Okay, so departments realize that they are gonna have to, pay for it. So many times, departments have had IT order for them, and then, oh, I don't have any money in my budget for that. Well, then you shouldn't have ordered it. So this is definitely a step in the right direction.
Cause when they fill out this form, they'll have to put that budget line, so they'll be able to see what they're ordering, the budget line, the money that's in the budget, and then if the money's not there, they shouldn't order it.
But under the procedures, the stuff in red says some consumables such as basic keyboards, basic mice, cables, and thumb drives, for example. So, are you saying we should run it through IT or leave it to the department?
For consumables?
Well, the small stuff like the mice, the cables, the thumb drives and stuff, do you want that to come to you?
As I said, the municipalities I worked at before, we had a stock of them, of just very basic keyboard, mice, thumb drives, everything like that. And if when broke, we would just replace it, no questions asked.
Alright, I have a motion by Mr. Villas to approve, is there a second?
Purchase.
The purchase request form for the, Johnson, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign, motion carries to the IT request. form. I guess now we can talk about the, financial procedure. Language.
I kind of agree, should go through the IT department, so at least they're buying all the same stuff, not the department buying what they want, everything's the same. They're the ones that gotta fix the stuff, so.
Well, hopefully the departments that have grant funds know that they should be spending them, I mean,
They'll
Because,
spend it
yeah,
on
I-
they'll
you
spend
know-
it on something else.
well, right, yeah. I mean, hopefully they are responsible enough to do that. Cause, I mean, they could still contact IT and say, hey, I need a mouse or whatever, what kind should I get? But yeah, most likely, yes, this would
If they
be.
spend it on something else, that's on them.
Right, but I think maybe during budget time, if we're going to fund a new line in the IT department for $1,000 or $1,500 or whatever, then we need to go through each of our other departmental budgets and cut. So we're not adding $1,500 to our levy ask, you know what I mean? So that $1,500 needs to be funded from somewhere, so cut 2% from everyone's supply line or something.
$10 from 10 departments and.
Right, yeah, exactly, and then we've got it funded, so then we're not adding to our budget.
No, that's what you're saying.
So everything would be supplied to the IT department, even the keyboards and cables and everything, the way this reads. That'd be a finance issue, figuring out how they're gonna figure it out.
I'm just saying we got rid of central supply for a reason. Now we're kinda adding it back in.
We need to open it back up.
We got input on this, Mr. Auditor.
Well, I can see it both ways, but I guess we could go and try with this new purchasing policy and see how it works, and it can always be changed. But if it's something that is covered by a grant, then that should be ordered directly by the department.
Ooh, that's gonna be an administrative nightmare to keep on top of though. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it says right in there, the budget line code supplied.
That's only
That's
for
for
the
the
large
form.
ticket items.
Yeah,
Some things that I see is, they come into our department if they don't have something, and they kind of check with other departments, right? Do you have this? Cause if you have it, I'll replace it in a couple days with Amazon, because sometimes we're the last minute, we don't think about it, right? I mean, which is fine, I don't me.
It's up to you guys, what you guys wanna do with this.
It has to be forwarded to the county board, wouldn't it?
Does that go to the board too?
yeah, the form and
It's changing the policy.
yep, cause so I'll combine them into a resolution like Rich wants.
It's up to you guys, when you wanna send it through. No, Terry, I see both sides of that.
I guess I would just suggest that we are restructuring this department. It's gonna come with some headaches and some hiccups, but, between Ashley, Walt, and myself, we sat down and looked through it. We think this is going to help with some confusion, and then having those stock items, like you say, your mouse breaks. You're not stuck waiting for 2 days on Amazon, you just go get one.
I would disagree with that, because I'm in business, I keep stock. Jerry knows that.
Big picture, it'll make departments accountable, cause they're not gonna be getting the free stuff as they've been accustomed to. It's a step in the right direction.
I'd make a motion to forward to the county board.
Motion by Mr. Miller to forward to the county board, second. Hanson, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries, follows the town of order. What else we got?
Neil Johnson.
Neil Johnson, sir. Level agreement, lease agreement, terms and conditions.
Yeah, the E.O. Johnson is who does all of the printers and also the paper cut program that we use for printing and accounting of printing on that. They brought in a proposal to replace a large number of the printers and multifunction copier printers that we have here. It will actually save us money year by year. It's a 5-year lease. And at the end of that 5-year lease, we would have the option to buy those copiers and printers, which generally people do not because they get put through a lot of hard work. At this moment, our paper cut is out of license, so we are having issues with printing and scanning and copying because of that. If this lease is approved, we could get that back up and running today.
That sounds like you need it, huh?
Yes, sir. I don't have the paperwork with me.
Okay.
It's not in the packet.
They just dropped our, trying to get the packet pulled up here.
I just pulled up the packet, it's not in the packet.
We have a printing cost per page, so that dropped us to,
Let me see if I can find it here real quick. I apologize about that. I didn't.
Did you get it in an email?
what was our original printing cost per page, right?
.056 black and, well, I don't know with E.O. Johnson, what departments get charged is .056 black and white and 15 cents for color. But that, I don't know what the original E.O. Johnson is.
The annual base payment is gonna be, $28,376.93. Potential overpayment will be $7,134 for annual total payment of $35,510.93. Our current payment is $43,676, so that'll be a savings of approximately $8,165 a year.
Does he already have his budget?
Yes, sir.
So then hopefully, since we have such a great cost savings, the departments can get charged less for copies, which would save money in everybody's budget.
No, the departments would not get charged less for copies because we have a lot of other costs that go into.
But couldn't that get reevaluated? Cause right now we're getting charged triple of what the county's getting charged.
Well, we have other costs that go into it, though, and we're actually losing money right now, so this will help break that fund even.
What do they get charged per copy now? I guess I'm kinda confused on how you just said that.
Like per page is 5.6 cents for,
Okay, so what would be the other cost per?
paper and service call, this type, it's not included in our contract. So if it's something that they have to come fix and it's because of something on our end, like with our server or something, they charge us for that.
How often do these break down?
It's not that often. I mean, if it's something that's like the machine quit working and it has nothing to do with something that we changed on our end, then that's included in our contract. Or at least the old contract, I don't know anything about the new one, but I'm assuming it's the same.
The new one is the same maintenance contract.
So essentially the same contract on a 5-year lease, it's gonna save us $8,000 a year.
Yes. And we're getting, 22 new devices, replacing the ones we have here.
That'll cover all
Just about all of them. There were, I think, 3 that didn't need to be replaced.
Let me just go back to the hand cranks.
The old mimeograph.
Mimeograph.
Yeah. See how many copies you guys wanna make it in.
Maybe Tony Bart will start running on that.
You're breaking up, I can't hear you. Okay, so the total is 35,910.33, correct, Walt?
Double check that, but I believe that is the correct. Yes, sir.
Motion by Mr. Miller to approve the 35,910.33, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Bettis, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. I think that's it.
No,
Your-
Addendum.
Second on.
And then the second one on it.
Sorry, my bad, I didn't see that. Discussion of property committee.
Good copies of this too. Actual. What do you wanna change?
Okay. This is just discussion part of it. Wanted to, we were looking at some of the committees, and we got 2 committees, which would be this one and JYE. That, I'll just say, for example, like Charmaine gives the same exact report at the JYE as she does here. So we got 2 committees that are overlapping each other with the same language in it. So our thought was we were gonna pull some stuff out of JYE and put it here because it should be in the property anyways. However, after reading a few things yesterday, we need to go through and actually define what the categories are, so we don't have a solid answer. We're just bringing it to light to you guys to see what your train of thoughts were when it comes to that, because JYE's gotta discuss it yet too.
So for instance, if I may, Mr. Chair, under property committee, para 3, it says that the property committee shall manage and supervise the fairgrounds and Trails End Youth Camp and the buildings thereon. But then if you go to Justice Youth Extension, under para 4, it says that Justice Youth Extension shall be responsible for the supervision of Trails End Youth Camp. So right there, you've got a conflict because 2 committees seemingly have the same jurisdiction. So just, whether you want to switch out who does what is up to you, but either way, we need to clean up this language because you've got 2 committees seemingly having charge of the fairgrounds and Trails End.
Right, so we're just gonna clean the language up, I'll bring it back next month to actually have a better breakdown of what we're gonna have.
And input from you guys and staff about, is property the right committee, is extension the right committee, what are you guys thinking?
Yeah, right now, Justice Youth and Extension deals with usage, and property is buildings, but those get intertwined so much, so sometimes it is like giving the same report to both. Cause one directly affects another.
So, we just wanna bring it to the light that this is gonna probably come back next month with finer detail, what we should move
Do you have a direction you'd like us to go with this?
What are your thoughts, I guess?
What was the part on youth, justice youth, on what paragraph?
I think it was para 4.
Here for,
Para 4, yes, be responsible for the supervision of Trails End, but then in para 3 of property, it says shall manage and supervise Trails End. So, the
well,
exact
when we
same
got
thing.
both of them, I didn't know what you were trying to accomplish, so I'm looking to see what was redlined, and then none of them were redlined, so I'm
No,
like, yeah.
because I don't know what to redline, because I don't know what committee you feel this is appropriate under.
So that's why we're bringing it to you, to see what your thoughts are. If we should move forward with this, I guess, or if you have any ideas on what we should do, but it seems kinda senseless to have it in both committees. I didn't realize that actually, when Charmaine's here and then I sit with JYE, she's giving me the same report she did at 8:00 in the morning.
So you understood it the second time around?
Well, Terry, I'll give you that.
I thought property was property.
What's that?
I thought property was property, the property. And justice use was contract.
Well, I just read to you where the hang up is. Para 3 and para 4 are like the same.
But you know, many different departments bring issues regarding property to property. It doesn't mean that they have to be overseen by property.
Correct.
Okay, there you go.
That's a true statement.
So we'll see what Justice Youth Extension, if they have any input, and then we'll work on cleaning up language. Maybe get some direction on where to go.
If we don't have any direction right now or anything, we'll just, we'll clean it up and bring it back and see what you guys think, depending on what JYE says today. Sound like a plan?
Yeah, just so small.
I'll blame it on the phone. Alright, we can move on to bills. Any approval of the bills? Any questions on the bills? Bills? Yeah. Any questions? Nothing? Motion by Mr. Miller to approve the bills. Is there a second?
I did see they almost had the elevators fixed. Something, $9,000 for the elevator.
That was our.
Yeah, servicing contracts, yeah, those, it's very pricey to have an elevator, and we have 3. Just in this building, we have one at the library too, so, yeah, very pricey.
This is Northwest Regional Planning Commission, that's a yearly fee?
That's probably the clean sweep fee. Was it over?
No, there's a second one for that. Household waste.
Yeah, what was the dollar amount, Terry?
11,505 economic
Oh,
development.
that one's not mine. I don't know what one that was.
Sorry, what's the bill for?
Northwest Planning 2025 Rusk County levy, is that an annual amount?
Yes. Yep. They are huge with tourism and economic development for us.
But most of our other buildings are still good, heat and everything.
Everything's running good. I am looking at working out a RFP with Joint for, new boiler to go into Enterprise. Balance reach end of its lifespan. Otherwise, things are running.
What enterprise?
Yes,
They got one boiler, 2 boilers?
one boiler.
say aye to adjourn. Aye.